Namaste. Mama says namaste.
Making a family can be easy and fun.
Oh yeah, but raising a family can be a whole different story.
From spouses to kids to the crazy daily grind, life often directs us away from connection and more into reactive chaos.
If you're tired of that cycle and are seeking something beyond the picket fence blues, this is the show for you.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Nathan.
And we're here to take you from chaos to clarity by bringing awareness and intention into your home, not waiting for one day, and highlighting how
the uniqueness in each of us strengthens all of us.
Take a deep breath in and let's start a brand new day. With Mama says namaste.
I am back again with a repeat guest this week. I'm so excited to have Kimball Lewis back with me on this week's episode. Back 10 episodes ago, in episode 252, I had Kimball on talking about what to do when your child acts out. And in that episode, he talked about how he could really go deep with the topic of lying. And so I wanted to bring him back for us to have a conversation around lying, which we know is something that that all of us might do at some times, those little white lies or maybe those bigger lies. And it can be a little bit scary when we catch our kids in them. So as always, when we do these guest interviews, they are available in multiple formats. I always have a complimentary blog that goes along with our episodes. In addition to that, of course, you've got any way of listening to it through audio, and then also on YouTube. We'll have the whole video on YouTube and you can see us talking and not just listen. So plenty of ways to listen to this episode. And now we want to dig into to talking with Kimball all about lying. So welcome, Kimball. Glad to have you back on.
Hi, Ashley. Thanks for having me back. This is fun.
Yeah. So I didn't give a major intro because we do have a lot about what all you do with empowering parents in episode 252, like we talked about when your child acts out. But just as a quick brief here to give an update to people as to what you are involved in. You are CEO of Empowering Parents. What all does that mean? And who are the people that you will work with?
So we are the home of a child behavior program called the Total Transformation Program, and we call it the instruction manual for dealing with defiant and acting out kids. And it was developed by a guy named James Lehman a little over 10 years ago, and he passed away shortly after he came up with the program, and it was wildly popular. And so I'm basically evangelizing the work that he put together about 10 years ago. It's a very, very popular program for parents who are dealing with defiance issues with their kids. So if you come to empoweringparents.com website, sign up for our newsletter. We have hundreds of free articles, but you can also sign up for the Total Transformation Program, which is a streaming online program. And then in conjunction with that, we offer parent coaching as well. So if you want to talk through the program as you're working with it, you can actually talk to one of our coaches as well. So that's what we do at empoweringparents.com, and we work with parents every day, hundreds of them.
All right. And yeah, some of the cases that you work with, is this, how often, what type of scenarios are you dealing with? Is this just the little basic parenting things? Or are you dealing with serious issues here? We touched on it a little bit with the acting out.
It can run the gamut. Most of the parents that come to us are, quote, at their wit's end. So whatever's going on, they're at their wit's end. And it can be, depending on where you are as a parent, it can be something that be fairly minor, which is your kids are generally okay, but you argue all the time and you just can't take it anymore. So you need a way to get out of that, all the way to where we have kids that have what we call oppositional defiant disorder, which is their very basic nature is to be defiant about almost everything. And it involves often stealing and a lot of lying and property destruction. So it can run the gamut of things that seem relatively mild, but the parents just fed up, to the kids really in a bad place and headed in the wrong direction. And we work with parents of kids age 5 all the way up to 25, because there's a big issue with adult kids living at home. So I love
that you recognize that. Yeah, that childhood sometimes is going into 25, and I know that age between 18 and 25 is just, there's so much that can happen during that stretch. And I wanted to specify that and see that because, here I am on a I'm a parent coach, and I'm having another parent coach on here, and I see that as such great collaboration, because it's great to have many of us out there, and we all have these different little areas of expertise, and it's great for me to have a resource for a family that may be dealing with an extreme case at this point, and now they have a child with oppositional defiant disorder, and I have a resource that I can help to connect them to give them that support, and to walk them through some basic steps. So it's just one of these beautiful opportunities when I bring in these guests to widen my circle of influence by allowing others to create their impact as well, and to add that insight. And there's always that opportunity that, yeah, something that Kimball says is just spot on for what you need. And I celebrate that and encourage you to sign up for the Empowering Parents newsletter and check out what all they are doing there. All right. So in that, a lot of the parents that I'm dealing with are, before they get to their wits' end, they are trying to do the right thing. They have good hopes and intentions for their kids, and they want to make sure they don't get to the point of needing to have that major course correction. So when it comes to lying, I'd love to kind of open this up, because I told you even before we started this interview that I was interested into what all could we talk about with a whole episode just on lying. And I feel like you're fully confident we can. So I want to hear, what's your take on lying? What's the impact, the importance? Is it okay to, let a little lie slide? How do you have this conversation with your kids? There's so many questions around this. So, first off, why do you see the importance of a specific, or like zoning in on this topic about lying?
Well, in the program, like the whole transformation program that we offer, we actually have very specific behaviors that we talk about: how to deal with this behavior, how to deal with this behavior, how to deal with this. So it's almost like a toolkit of resources you can pull from. And lying is such a really common one. Stealing is another one. So we'll have a whole thing on like what to do if your child's stealing from you. So lying is just one of those behaviors that it's really common. Like almost all kids lie. And if you think your kid has never lied to you, you just haven't figured it out yet. Like my kids are pretty good, but they're old. They're like 18 and 21 now. And we were at dinner the other night and they were laughing about how they put one over on us as parents once. Like, and
And it happens
so
as much as you think, there are times you do. I know my daughter pulled one over on me the other day, and we had a conversation about it afterward, or my husband called her out on it. I did not catch it at first at all. So it happens. Yeah,
it happens, and it happens with the best of kids too. But it becomes a real problem when you have a kid who has like defiance problems and problems meeting responsibilities. And what they're essentially doing is they're using lying as a problem-solving technique. They've got a problem, they didn't meet a responsibility. Either they learn how to meet those responsibilities effectively, or they figure out a way out of it. And one of the things they do is they lie. They'll just basically tell a lie, like, like if you're not supposed to go someplace after school and you went there anyway, you lie about it. You tell your parents, no, I didn't go to that party that was serving alcohol. I wasn't there. They just basically lie about it as a way to solve the problem of they haven't figured out how to follow the rules appropriately or meet their responsibilities. And it's just for a kid who's having problems, and we see behavior issues as a problem-solving skill. They have life's problems, which are functional problems. They have social problems, and lying is just a very immature tool that they get out of those problems. And it actually works for them a lot of times, because if it works, and they don't get punished if the parent finds out about it. So we just tell parents this is a behavior problem. Mm-hmm. And I want to make that distinction, because this is one of the key points, is that we urge parents not to view it as a moral problem, view it as a functional behavior problem.
Okay. So this is flat out behavior, not to do with your moral integrity. So is this just a natural process that all kids are going to test out and try?
All kids who haven't figured out better ways of solving their problems. Yeah. When I say problems, I just make clarifying that I think we talked about this in the last episode. Talking about functional problems, like getting up and going to school, getting home by curfew, getting your homework done, learning how to get along with others, basically.